ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto personality of God and Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremest of human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering off service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with the transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाखाय चक्षुरुन् उन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse number 6. Hmm. जय जय गिरिराज महाराज की जय। नारायण रविचंद्र भगवान की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। या वैलश्च श्री तुलसी विमृशा कृष्णांग्रीरेण अभ्यादिकं नेत्री पुनैति लोकान् उभयत्र शेषान् कस्तां न सेवता मरिष्यमना. Yeah, the river which way always lasat, floating with Sri Tulasi leaves, Vimishra mixed, Krishna Angiri, the lotus feet of the Lord Shri Krishna, Renu dust, Abhyadika auspicious, Ambu water, Netri that which is caring, Punati sanctifies Lokan planets, Ubhyantra both the upper and lower, on inside and outside, Sa Ishan along with the Lord Shiva, Ka who else, Tam that river, Na doesn't, Sevata worship, Marishamana one who is to die at any moment. Translation purpose Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The river by which the king sat to fast carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the three worlds, inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. Purport. Maharaj Parikshit, just after receiving the news of his death within 7 days, at once retired from family life and shifted himself to the sacred bank of Yamuna river. Gradually, it is said that the king took shelter on the bank of the Ganges, but according to Srila Jiva Goswami, the king took shelter on the bank of Yamuna. Okay, so there is one line here. Say generally it is said that the king took shelter on the bank of Ganges, but the Jiva Goswami says the king took shelter on the bank of Yamuna. Srila Jiva Goswami's statement appears to be more accurate because of the geographical situation. Maharaj Parikshit resided in his capital Hastinapura, situated near present Delhi, and the river Yamuna flows down past the city. Naturally, the king would take shelter of the river Yamuna because she was flowing past his palace door. And as far as sanctity is concerned, the river Yamuna is more directly connected with Lord Krishna than Ganges. The Lord sanctified the river Yamuna from the beginning of his transcendental pastimes in the world. While his father Vasudeva was crossing the Yamuna with the baby Lord Krishna for a safe place at Gokula on the other bank of the river from Mathura. The Lord fell down in the river, and by the dust of his lotus feet, the river at once becomes sanctified. It is especially mentioned herein that Maharaj Parikshit took shelter of that particular river, which is beautifully flowing. Carrying the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna mixed with tulsi leaves, Lord Krishna's lotus feet are always besmeared with the tulsi leaves. And thus, as soon as his lotus feet contact the water of Ganges and the Yamuna, the river becomes at once sanctified. The Lord, however, contacted the river Yamuna more than the Ganges. According to Varaha Puran, as quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami, there is no difference between the water of Ganges and the Yamuna. But when the water of the Ganges is sanctified 100 times, it is called as Yamuna. Similarly, it is said in the scriptures that 1000 names of Vishnu are equal to one name of 1000 names of Vishnu equal to one name of Rama, and three names of Rama are equal to one name of Krishna. Translation again. The river by which the king sat to fast carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the three worlds inside and outside, and even sanctifies the Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. So, how beautifully it is, as we are reading, Srila Jiva Goswami mentions that actually it is Mother Yamuna, because Maharaj Parikshit was residing in Hastinapur. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, Hastinapur, the Yamuna passes by, which is kind of near New Delhi. So Yamuna passes by that. So naturally it could be Mother Yamuna. So here it is mentioned in the translation that the Mother Yamuna is very close and dear to Lord Shri Krishna. I mean, been very direct in association of Lord Shri Krishna than Ganges. Obviously, Jiva Goswami, as you see in the last lines of paragraph, the water is same. What Jiva Goswami is writing, the Lord, however, um, according to Varaha Purana, as quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami, there is no difference between the water of Ganges and Yamuna. But the water of Ganges is sanctified 100 times, it is called as Yamuna. So that is basically no comparison here, but the potency is mentioned because how much Lord, and we were discussing, Prabhuji was also mentioning yesterday, that Lord did so many pastimes in Mother Yamuna. He bathed himself. You know, so many pastimes, childhood pastimes of Lord happened directly in Yamuna. Mother Ganges definitely and we all know that all the papa or sins get destroyed when one takes bath in Mother Ganges. But when one takes bath in Mother Yamuna, all the papa and punya both are gone because it places on the neutral platform. However, in Mother Ganges, your punya still remains and you have to take birth again to burn those punya. But here, both are gone. So, Yamuna, that is glorification of Mother Yamuna is more prominent, we can see in this particular verse, where it is mentioned. And as again, Prabhupada writes that how we say that 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu is equal to one name of Lord Ram, three names of Lord Ram equal to one name of Krishna. So that's how we can understand this 100-time purification of Mother Ganges water is equal to Yamuna's water. So that is much power that Yamuna water carries. And as I was reading here, more prominent is like the last line, which mentions here, consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. Must take. It is not like optional or good to take. It says must take the shelter of Yamuna. And every day we chant, Yamuna Tira Vanachari. So Krishna takes the cows with his Gopa friends and always Gai Charan karate Yamuna ke kirare. And so many pastimes. They open their boxes, eat together, they play. Yamuna is like so much dear to Lord Krishna. So we must take shelter of Mother Yamuna. It's not like optional. And everyone who is destined to die, Mrityu Lok mein, we are destined to die today or tomorrow. There's no guarantee how much we can stay within this body. But we should, while we are in this body, when we are reading Bhagavatam, when we are intensely absorbing ourselves to remember Lord Krishna and Mother Yamuna and all the paraphernalia or all the associates of the Lord, it is utmost important to read the Bhagavatam and study the Bhagavatam and have faith on the words of Bhagavatam. So many times I read and I think, do I really have faith on this line? How, and if not, what can I do to build my faith on this line? Because faith is the essence. Adho Shraddha. Shraddha, faith, is really a essence. The more faith is deeper, the more uh, absorption in Krishna will come and stay. And how the faith develops naturally with our experience, the day by day we spend in Krishna consciousness. And obviously, when somebody new comes and he watch somebody who has a faith, he sees the people around and how people are cultivating, how uh, by looking at others who have a faith and who have developed that faith, and by looking at their example we can build a faith. uh, and one thing which I always think about, like how much faith His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj had when he had a dream when he was at the age of 19. Actually, when he hitchhiked the journey to east, and he had a faith on the vision that he got, the sound that he heard, go to India. If you need spiritual realization, go to India. He had the faith on that sound that this is coming from the Lord. And that much faith he had that he took a risk of his life to hitchhike. And in journey home, we can see the story how much he was about to die. But if I would have been in that place, I would have thought, well, maybe I got this vision, maybe it's not worth it. Let's see. Because faith is not deep. But how much faith he had on that, on the Lord, and the vision and the voice that he heard from the Lord. Is it not Krishna is talking to all of us every day? He is. But is it my faith that much that I can hear Krishna's voice every day? Probably not, because I don't have faith. I feel like, well, I don't know if Krishna is saying or my mind is saying, and I always get jumbled into that. But his faith is so strong. Another example, Srila Prabhupada's faith is so strong in the words of Krishna. And one time, when Prabhupada was actually on the bed, one doctor came. He was not even devotee actually. The doctor was just our normal doctor, not a devotee, not a spiritualist or anything. He came and he checked Srila Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, you pray too much. You pray a lot. The disciples got a little bit angry and saying, hey, why are you saying this? But no. And then he said, Swamiji, you pray a lot. You should do morning walk every day. Just be fit, like just don't pray to, just do some morning walk. And Prabhupada took that so much with his so much seriously. Every day he started doing morning walk along with his disciples. And he said he had so much faith. Um, and it is said that within that morning walk, so many instructions of Srila Prabhupada and talks came out. On YouTube also you can see. And there are videos where so many instructions, so much nectar that came out during morning walk. Um, and then there are PDFs about it. So, how Srila Prabhupada had a faith on the words of Dr. And Prabhupada kept that, and Prabhupada said, okay, Krishna wants me to do morning walk. And then how it turned out. How inconceivable it is. And when we see the life of Srila Prabhupada, within 11 years, Prabhupada established 108 temples throughout the world. He traveled 11 times. Now, when we do that calculation, 108 divided by 11, how much it comes? Around 2.5, right? I mean, month wise, I'm just talking about. If you say 11 years, like 11 into 12, 132 months, right? So if you take 108, uh, so 132 by 108, if you do, so about like say about one or two temples every month. So that much Prabhupada did. And we know now one temple, Krishna Community Center, if you want to um, like services and all that, how much it takes. Prabhupada stayed in New Vrindavan. Actually, we were hearing of so much pastime in Palace of Gold yesterday that Prabhupada visited New Vrindavan three times. 72, 76, and 79, around 1972, 76 and 79, around that time. 1979 was the last time when Prabhupada, sorry, 69, right? Because Prabhupada left at 77. So during that time, Prabhupada actually came, and there is a picture where Prabhupada, they showed Prabhupada walking and taking look at the palace. Um, Prabhupada, they wanted to build something for him and he never stayed there. But we can see like just some time, and in Detroit also in Dev Sadan Mandir, Prabhupada stayed there for almost about like few days. Many temples where just Prabhupada went for a couple days and 2, 3 days, and the temple got established. And how much potency Prabhupada carried, like, this, it is inconceivable to understand what Prabhupada did, how he did, and how the movement got, spread like that. Um, when he came with just few hundred, like just few dollars in his pocket and trunk of books, and he chanted Hare Krishna in Tompkins Square Park. And hippies, who even does not know anything about Krishna consciousness, who doesn't even know how to wear dhoti and all that and tilak, and not to know about any food preparations. Think about all this. Right now, I mean, we are coming from Indian culture, so we know how to make samosa, kachori and all that, and tilak and dhoti. It's easy because we have seen that and it's in our culture. But think about somebody who would have no idea about all these things. Prabhupada taught them each and everything spoon by spoon, like spoon fed them. And how they got altar deity. Right now, we are discussing so much on India shopping and gift shop and things like that. We have Ananthari Prabhu there helping us, coordination, looking at images. So much overwhelmed we get. Think about how Prabhupada would have done that. Getting all this. Prabhupada never had any mridanga when he started playing, and that bongo, African small drum, is still there in Vrindavan in Palace of Gold we saw yesterday. Actual bongo, that small drum which Prabhupada played. Nothing was there. What he had, only one thing is faith. He had a faith on instruction of his spiritual master, and he had faith on Krishna. And Krishna gave him vision that Krishna is riding that boat himself, along with all the Krishna's avatar sitting around with Guru Parampara. And that what Prabhupada writes in his diary. What he had? Faith. He had a faith on instruction of his Guru. That my Guru gave me the instruction. Krishna came and told me in the vision, don't worry, everything is taken care, you just go. So that faith was deep, and Prabhupada continued on the basis of that faith. 1 year, so much struggle. Prabhupada writes also, and it's not like Prabhupada is, you know, uh, Prabhupada actually writes that I used to go to the docking station, like where the ship comes, to go there and see when the next ship is going back to India. But I used to sit there and come back. So it's not like Prabhupada never had that thought, ki, okay, my Lord, I don't know why you. He says that, my Lord, why don't know why you brought me here. Make me dance as you like. And struggle was there 1 year, proper struggle. But he had a faith and he kept moving on that faith. At the age of 70, with 2 heart attacks, no help, nothing from any god brother or anything, how difficult it would be for him to do. But he pulled on, he pulled on, pushed, sleeping 2 hours. How much effort? I mean, there is so much to learn from the life of Srila Prabhupada and life of all his disciples. Jayapataka Maharaj, Hilonit Radhanath Swami Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj. They are keep pushing themselves so much because there's a faith that this material body is temporary. This life, which we have, human life, we can leave this body any point in time. And every time we spend in Krishna service is our fortune and blessing to spend as much as possible. And Prabhupada says this body is nothing. How we can make a best use of bad bargain? Let me say, material life itself is like a cage. Dukhala mashaswatam. You got this body and all that. How can we best use of this bad bargain? It is there. And if we compare that way, materialistic people who are not in bhakti, what they are doing? Eating food and making stool. That's it. What else? Sense enjoyment. Period. There is nothing. There's very strong line of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He says, this human body is not given just to put in food stuff inside and make the stool outside. That's not the purpose of human body. Eat and just create the stool. That's not what it is. So there is purpose for human life. And that faith comes when we see the life of Srila Prabhupada. That faith comes when we see our spiritual masters. Jayapataka Maharaj is like, can't even think like how much pain he is going through, but the preaching and projects he's running in that stage on the wheelchair, his travel doesn't stop. It's not like, well, I'm on wheelchair now, travel is becoming difficult. Let me just stay in Mayapur and just preach, and I can't travel. It's very difficult. How do I do it and all that? Nothing. Maharaj still comes to US during summertime, um, and still on the wheelchair, and still goes, still talk, and so much energy. Even his bodily discomforts doesn't come even near to how much energy and faith he has within his heart. So that comes out when that Krishna Shakti is inside, and it transcends all the bodily discomforts and pains and everything. Like it transcends the material world. So when Lord Krishna perform all of his pastimes, again, why I'm talking more on the faith, because these are the words of Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is the particular verse we see when. How do we take shelter of Mother Yamuna? Do we really have a faith on this line, taking shelter of Mother Yamuna? And how much it is mentioned that consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river, must take shelter of Mother Yamuna. And it is mentioned that it purifies or it sanctifies the three worlds inside and outside, and Lord Shiva and other demigods also. So, what to speak of conditioned soul like me? It purifies everything. So, we must take shelter. Tulsi leaf is always there with at the Lord's lotus feet. We know that we even every day when we do deity worship, we have Tulsi Manjira's leaves and Chandan at the Lord's feet. So when Ganges, when Yamuna, Mother Yamuna has Lord's dust and Tulsi leaves and everything, and that's why it become more and more potent. There is unlimited description about the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. I don't remember the exact canto, Kali Yuga memory, and I'm very dull at remembering the things and numbers and names and like that. Um, But there is a description and glorification of lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. If one can remember the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, it actually saves from all anxieties, pains, and pleasures and miseries. Um, if we have a kripa, if we have a blessing, if we have a not offended Vaishnavas, and uh, there is a good spiritual credit, remembering Lord's lotus feet Krishna will stay in vision sometime. But if you try to remember all the time, not possible. It goes away because that adhikar is not there. Devotees who can constantly chant holy name 192 rounds every day have a faith on holy name and have a adhikar to chant that holy name. Unless and until there is no taste, holy name will not be chanted like that. Right now it is sadhana, it is austerity for us to chant 16 rounds and say, okay, these many rounds are done. Okay, these many remaining. Oh, 6 rounds are remaining. It's already 8 o'clock in the night. Wow, 6 rounds are remaining. But that feeling won't come to the devotees who have taste in the Holy Land. It's not like remaining. They want to chant more and more and more and more. And Rupa Goswami says the tongue vibrates so much that, so much nectar this Krishna towards produce that I wish to have millions of tongues and ears. That is a state. It is a state. It is a platform. I don't know platform is the right word or not, but it is a state of consciousness. जय जय गिरिराज महाराज की जय, नित्यानंद अद्वैत भगवान की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. So I was contemplating, or just for a moment, imagine that what Rupa Goswami is saying, having a taste in the holy name, what it means. It means, how does it feel when I say, when Rupa Goswami says, I want to chant, I wish to have millions of ears and millions of uh, tongues to chant and vibrate. And there is so much nectar in the holy name. And I was just thinking, I don't feel any nectar right now at my current state. But if I to imagine, just theoretically, mentally, just try to contemplate that there is a nectar, such a nectar, and somebody is feeling that nectar, that taste in the holy name. What does he really feeling, and how he can keep chanting and chanting and chanting and chanting and chanting? So that is a thing. It is a state actually. Once when achieve that state, that's um, consciousness, he doesn't need anything actually. So it is present, it is there. And how does it happen? Yes, definitely through Vaidhi to Raganuga platform. We have to practice. Vaidhi Bhakti is by our voluntarily accepting anything and everything in service of Krishna. So we keep ourselves focused. Ekehi Kurunandana. Our intelligence, mind, and goal of our life is Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna's service, Krishna's devotee service. It is, and many times in scriptures or we discuss with devotee, actually there is so much outside of the world. And when we go out and see, people are people are stuck. Just many have don't faith in God, many have faith in God but have different faith on different personalities. Somebody believe on something, somebody, so much is there outside the world. And if we are getting an opportunity, and if we at least understood that Krishna's lotus feet and Krishna is the supreme goal, that itself is a very rare, very, very rarest, rare situation to be in. And we are one of them. So accepting Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead and making that a goal of life, Prabhuji and Mataji, we are the rarest souls among this earthly planet. After many, many birth and lifetimes, this particular mercy comes. So utilizing rest of the life in service of Krishna, that is a goal. And the more and more our uh, faith by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with devotee, chanting the holy name, doing the service, same thing, keep doing again and again and more and more and more and more. Maybe we are not able to understand, but day by day, by every sunrise and by every sunset, our faith is getting more and more thick. Something like analogically, we can understand there is a nice our creamline milk sitting on the pot and flame is coming down and we are just churning. Water is getting evaporated and the milk is becoming thicken and thicken and thicken, thicken, thicken. And it becomes nice and thick, rubbery. So that is going to happen. The only thing is we keep on in this moment, keep continuing. And many of us are in this service to Srila Prabhupada for many years. So we can try to understand our journey, how we were at the beginning, how we were after 2 years, how we were after 3 years, how are we now? How are just try to contemplate. That's why it is very important to understand, and that gives the faith actually. It gives the faith and it gives also inspiration. Well, what I did differently, I just chanted holy name, I ate Krishna Prasad, I associated with devotee, do little service, whatever is possible for me. And by doing that, I came this much with Krishna's mercy. So think about SB Govind Maharaj says that, not SB, Keshav Maharaj says that think about by just doing that much, if Krishna is giving this much, if you do so much, how much Krishna will give? So it is very, very important to analyze this. Sit sometimes alone and think about it and contemplate. Ki by my doing little bit of this much, and honestly speaking, I never sacrificed my convenience. I never sacrificed my comfort or my things. Whenever I had some time, I did it. Did I sacrifice my job or anything? No. So just by doing whatever time I got, if I had to sacrifice my full day, how much I could really do? And just by doing little bit what I could do, Krishna has given this much. Think about if I do more, how much I will get. That is actually mercy of Lord Shri Krishna. And we know when somebody takes one step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 1,000 steps towards that person or that devotee. So that itself, that statement is true because we can realize, we can understand, we can analyze our own life. We did this much and Krishna did that much for us. He's so grateful. And I was discussing with one devotee, right? Um, Gratitude, we say, and Krishna is epitome of all of these qualities. Everything is highest in Krishna. When we say somebody is humble, the most humble personality is Krishna. If somebody say grateful, the most grateful personality is Krishna. There can no one be beyond Krishna. The gratitude Krishna has is much more than what anybody can have in the creation. So if we are doing something for Krishna, Krishna will Krishna not be grateful for what we are doing? Krishna was grateful for Putana just to feed the poisonous milk, and one just for a single moment thinking, well, I should have a child like this. Wow, such a nice child. Just for that, she is getting the supreme destination, being the maid servant of his mother. So, if we have this sincere desire to serve Krishna, rest assured, the problem is we don't have faith on that. And that's why sometimes our actions or consciousness shakens up here and there. But what I would say is having that faith comes by Krishna's mercy. So we keep that faith. We associate with the devotees who have faith and keep continue. And Krishna is watching. Krishna knows our intentions. Krishna knows our desires, past, present, and future. And anything we do in Krishna's service, nothing is gone vain. Small, even sincere mansik seva also Krishna accepts. So with that, I'll stop here. It's 8:33. Are there any questions, comments? Otherwise, we can end here. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Such a nice realized class. Thank you.
I just share, I just share intellectual realization, probably no heart, heart realization. Thank you. whatever I could add.
You please pray for us also, Prabhuji. The faith that you have on Krishna, one day we will also get.
Well, I just know theoretically, Mataji. I'm also trying to understand what that faith means. So it takes a lot to have a faith. If I would have had a faith, I would have somewhere else by now. Anyways, but please pray for me, and we are there for each others to pray. Krishna Community Center is platform where we come, we pray for each other together, and we cry in front of Krishna, and just do that for rest of our life. And by Krishna's mercy, everything will be taken care. He is the one who will take everyone's care very nicely.
When you were talking about faith, one thing came into my mind, Prabhuji, that I think we are having little bit faith on Krishna. It is just that we are not having faith on each other. Like, I do not have that much faith on you, and you are not having faith on. Among devotees, we do not have faith on each other. I felt maybe we need to work on that also. I thought along with that.
Yeah, yeah, that is very good point, Mataji. What I heard is when somebody loves Krishna, he loves everyone.
Hmm.
So if I have faith on Krishna, the faith on devotee will gradually come. But right now, with this current, again, we are on journey. We are not to the platform where we are completely out of envy and six anarthas and ego. Somebody says something, our ego get hurt, right? We're
Hmm.
still in this anartha nivritti stage, and it's a parallel stage. But by performing nine processes of devotional service, by performing this same bhakti yoga, eventually our right now you are saying that I have faith on Krishna, but not. That itself is a progress. That means you are able to understand that. That means we are able to understand that I need to work towards building the faith in devotees. So that first step of acceptance of that I need to build faith in the devotees is a progress. Then next thing will come. Eventually, slowly, we will build that faith and it will come. So getting anything that, my Lord, I'm just hankering for this and I don't have this. And the more and more we spend time and more we read Bhagavatam and more we churn Bhagavatam, churn the words of Bhagavad Gita and understand and compare ourselves. Wow, it is written here and I am nowhere here. That itself tells us that it actually brings our reality out. And I would say that is a progress, because we know easily sometimes we think when we come in the beginning Krishna consciousness, well, I got it, I will become pure duty in a month. So but that is the illusion. But as we start knowing more and more, we realize there is actually path is not that simple. It's not very short path, it's a long path. But by Krishna's mercy, everything becomes possible. So, same boat, Mataji. We are all together, and I think having that thought that I need to have a faith on the devotees is a good thought, and eventually by prayers and by cultivating slowly, it will come.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we'll end here. Thank you so much. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय। शील प्रभुपाद की जय। थैंक यू। हरे कृष्ण।